Man, I really did outdid myself. This is probably the best cliffhanger I have ever done. Oh my god, dude. But how the fuck are we even gonna get. Okay, Yuji, we need to figure this out. We need to figure out how we're gonna explain everything to everybody. I'm sure we could bullshit our way through somehow. Yeah, that was literally everyone on in the comments.
ユミコ
Oh, Jesus!
人を飼うみたいに言わないでちょうだい。で、このメモ、元は風見くんが書いたものに間違いはないのね。
Why do I understand that Guan Yu joke? Anyway.
そうよ、そうです。
Who else? Who else would it have been? Not these idiots playing a prank.
部屋に侵入して手帳から写したものだから間違いないのよさ。
She looks more irritated by the situation than anything. Not like shocked or whatever. She just.
他の人が書いたとは思えませんでしたね。そう。なら仕方ないわね。
She's like acting so casual about it.
よくもまあこんなに詳細に。しかも誰もいないって思ってた時まで鼻歌もプリンも。
Never mind, here it comes. Oh god.
これいただいていくけどよろしいかしら。
Oh god, I'm so fucked.
どうぞ。
I really didn't think they would have any objections. Oh.
許せない風見裕二。
Listen, I can explain. Where am I?
やばいってどうすんのよこれ。
Well, Michiru, I'm dead, so, you know, well, I'm Kazami Yuji Occupation Student Mark II, so I can't really die.
榊さん、わかりやすく殺す目をしてましたね。
Maybe, you know?
まあでもユージがここまでやってたからには本人から説明してもらわないとどうしようもないわよね。
I owe everyone an explanation. You guys read it.
ぶっちゃけ引いたな。
Captain Creep. Oh, Machina. Oh.
はっきり言うわね。まあでも確かにちょっとそうだけどユージにあんな性癖があったなんて知らなかったし。
Oh, God, I really do have to explain everything. Oh.
私知らないからね。大惨事になっても知らないから。
Michiru just runs into her room, fucking closes the door, locks herself in there. Did she do that?
みちるもビビりね。しかしなんでユージはこんなことしたんだろう。
Like how Amine is just like, okay, hold on. We need to just figure out what's going on here. There has to be a reason.
恋愛感情なのでしょうか。
Ha! You fucking wish.
普通はそうよね。でもあのユージだし、もし本当に好きになったんならもっと直接的な行動に出ると思うんだけどね。
I think a lot of the time people underestimate and overestimate Kazami Yuji Occupation Student Mark II.
お兄ちゃんならさっくりとレイプまがいに襲いかかっても不思議じゃないと思うのよさ。さっくり言うな。そうね。ユージだったら普通に面と向かって言うと思うのよね。好きって思ったんなら。
So that means there has to be something else. So why would he stalk?
それもそうですよね。
まあ今はとりあえず青鬼さんから厳しい尋問を受けている頃だろうし、その結果を見守るっきゃないわよね。
What if her, like, box cutter powers goes overdrive and I actually can't deal with her? Oh no! Oh god, it's over! Ah!
理由説明していただけるかしら。
Don't push me over the railing! Oh, I'm on the roof. Okay. Busting onto the roof, Sakaki strides up to me with a look of pure fury on her face, as per the usual, then hurls a bundle of paper in my general direction. Putting that aside for a minute, could you retract that blade before we talk? Fuck no. And in her left hand, the girl's holding her fully extended box cutter. Does she have a name for this box cutter? Does she give it a name eventually? Does she have this box cutter, the same box cutter, for the entirety of the Grisaia series? I need questions, answers to these questions. Her knuckles are white. Even from a few meters away, I can see her hand trembling.
それはあなたの答え次第ね。いいから説明してちょうだい。
Alright. Hold on, I got a perfectly good explanation. Who did this? Machina? Sachi? Oh, we're gonna play it like this.
そんなことどうだっていいでしょ。私が聞きたいのはどうしてこんなストーカーみたいなことをあなたがしたのかって聞いているのよ。
Okay, so I might be some kind of stalker, as you... well, sort of. In some weird way I am, but... I did stow the documents from JB about Takagi's personal data inside a securely locked drawer. There's not much risk they found those. Well, but my notes on Takagi's movements didn't contain anything problematic from a professional perspective, so I wasn't nearly as careful with them. Obviously a serious mistake. We'll learn from it. I'll have to punish the trespassers later, but at the moment, there's a more immediate problem to deal with.
ねえ、どうなの？ちゃんと答えなさい。
She's getting closer with the knife. It's pretty simple. I was asked to guard you. That's all. Damn, just straight up. Okay. You know, I should have expected them to do that. The rage on Takagi's face instantly changes to utter confusion. Not waiting for her to process the remark, I continue my explanation. Okay, so your father, Sakaki Michaika, God damn it, why did I say that wrong? Michaiki contacted my employer. After determining that your personal safety was at risk, they made arrangements for your protection. So you say, okay, put the blade away. I've been assigned to this job, so knowing where you are at all times is my responsibility. I'll apologize if you found it disturbing. Skaki's sharp glare falters. Her eyes drop to the ground at her feet. Gripping her knife even more firmly than before, she mutters something too quietly for me to hear. Skaki? Gradually, her voice grows louder, until at last a few words squeeze their way out of her mouth.
必要ない。
What do you mean? Say what now? Skaki's eyes flash up to meet mine once more.
必要ないわ。父が何を言ったかわからないけど、護衛なんかいらない。
Oh, you know, your father's probably planning to attack you. Oh, Jesus, to get you all scared. And JB worked this deal out, but I don't know the full details. You're the daughter of the East Beach Group's president. That places you in a dangerous position. If you keep walking around without security, eventually...
何か起こったのなら、それはそれでいいわ。
Okay.
私が死ぬだけなんでしょ。どうせ。
I feel like that's pretty bad. What?
死ねばいいのよ。いっそ。
What have I gotten myself into this time? What are the old Duke boys doing this time? I could still see anger in Skagi's face, but it's changed. There's a hint of something reckless and indifferent in her expression. Something like resignation.
別にこんな体、守ったところで何もないんだから。
What are you talking about?
とにかく、今日限りでそんなことはやめてちょうだい。
I can't. I'm sorry. Oh, well. And there she goes. With those words, Sakaki turns and leaves the roof. What the hell was that about? Poor Sakaki. I can understand that having someone follow you around would be unpleasant, but the reason Sakaki refused my protection doesn't seem to have much to do with that. No! The woman talks like she's completely disinterested in her own safety. Like, she literally doesn't care. She was like, of course, I was ordered to protect her, so I'm going to continue doing so, but it's unsettling to hear her talk like that. Left a bad taste in my mouth. Yeah, I don't like how she was talking. The documents I was given on Takagi Yumiko contained extensive information on her current situation, but there was very little concerning her past and or that of the East Branch group. Beach group. Fuck. This borderline self-destructive attitude clearly didn't come from nowhere. I just don't have enough information to make sense of it. For now, the only thing I could do is take care of the job I was assigned. Despite her protests. Can't say if this applies to more typical student dormitories, but in this place there isn't that dramatic a difference in atmosphere between school days and vacation days. The residents wear casual clothes instead of school uniforms, and that's pretty much it. Days off aren't really that much of an upper, and weekdays aren't that much of a downer. The energy level around here appears to stay pretty constant. Amne's always thrusting her tits out, per usual. Makina's constantly babbling away in dubious Japanese, because she's just a little derp. Sachi never fails to offer perfect service with a superficially polite smile. Yeah, no, we love Sachi. And Michiru's an idiot 24/7. Classic Michiru. Oh, things are gonna be real awkward now. Likewise, this woman's expressions don't change much, no matter what the calendar reads. Gazing at the clouds outside the window, she reaches tentatively toward an umbrella, then hesitates. After a moment, the pattern repeats itself. Eventually, she picks up the tote bag sitting at her side, shoots a few cautious glances around the area, and begins to ease open the front door as quietly as possible. You can't sneak away from Kazami Yuji! You fucking serious? Hey. Oh my god. Sakagi twitches like a startled cat. Slowly, stiffly, she turns around to face me. Going out, I see. Just so you know, the weather won't turn bad until late tonight. Have a safe trip. What kind of question is that? Of course I am. Despite my considerate umbrella-related tip, the woman's expression is now one of clear hostility. It's my job, after all. Doesn't really matter what you say, I still got a job to do. Sorry, but whether you think it's necessary doesn't really matter. The objective evaluation was that you're in danger, and more importantly, I have orders from... Well... I actually... That played amazingly! It doesn't normally do that. When you're fucking just reading and then she just dips. Oh my god, that was actually amazing. I don't know why. Just a small detail like that where they literally waited for me to, like, depending on reading speed, of course, get to this point. And then just she leaves. Oh my god, that's so amazing. Alright. Alright. Time to go, I guess. God damn it.
どうやら有事の仕事が関係してるっぽいのは分かったけど、それにしてもあんだけ拒絶されても行かなきゃいけないって辛いよね。
Yeah. Thank God we explained like all the situation to them and didn't leave them out in the dark.
めんどっちいよな。
Major pain. What are you even talking about, Makina? What the shit was I about to say?
でもどうしてボディーガードとかさせるんだろう。ユミコの周りってそんなに危険なこととかあったっけ？お嬢様だってのはなんとなくは聞いてたけど。
I feel like in this case it's definitely probably needed.
さあね、事情が変わったのかもしれないし、その辺は多分ユージも榊さんも教えてくれないだろうし。
It's a pain in the posterior, that's for sure.
動向を見守る以外はないって感じでしょうか。
And soon, you guys will not exist, for we will be doing Yumiko's route, as we are now.
そうね。まあ、見守ってるうちに、ここで人情沙汰とか起きなきゃいいけど。
What was that? What was that? Why did it start flat? Hold on. Whoa! What was that? It's never happened in this game before. Why was it flashing like black screen? I'm scared now.
みちる様、一人首をひねっていらっしゃいますが、ここで言う人情とは、人の情けのことではなく、刃物で人を傷つけるの意味ですよ。
わかってるわよ。そんなこと思ってなかったわよ。ちょっと何のことかわかんなかっただけよ。
I just kinda didn't know what it meant.
わかってへんがな。
Oh my god, dude. What is happening? What is happening in this fucking recording? The place where Sakagi spends her off days isn't far from the academy. Following the footpath from our front gate until it turns to the south, then walk 300 meters or so along the prefectural road down to the sea and you're there. There are a few obstacles and nothing in the way of blind spot, so it's not much of a challenge as an observer. But she's like, please. Tsukagi's been shooting frequent looks over her shoulder in my direction ever since we left. I'd guess 60% of the reason is her hoping to find some opportunity to slip away and escape my surveillance. Unfortunately for her, I'm an amazing super agent man, so the other 40s, pure anger. As for concern on behalf of her bodyguard, clearly not even a single percent. In fact, the day after I admitted the truth, Tsukagi tried to run away from me the moment she saw my face. The girl's only an amateur, so naturally it didn't take long for me to catch up. But since then, she's been constantly waiting for another chance. Watching, waiting. Can't be too careless. And easy enough to catch up to her after she bolts, but there's always a possibility someone will attack her in the meantime. Far safer to constantly keep an eye on her.
よそ見すらしないのね。
It's my fucking job, man. You don't understand. I'm on a job after all. They'll cut my wages if I slack off. Tsukagi heaves another heavy sigh, then heads for her destination with a slightly quickened gait. Easily matching her pace, I follow in silence. Alright. Ooh, new background? Damn. Hold on, another new background? After less than 10 minutes of walking, we arrive at the riverbank. The river is called the Shinozaki, a smaller Class B river that flows down to the coast of Echimishima Cape. Since we're close to where it meets the sea, it's fairly wide here, with a moderately sized bank on either side. Not too far away, one of the East Beach Express lines, owned by Sakaki's family, cuts across the water. Every 30 minutes or two, a two-car diesel train rumbles across the iron bridge. Exhaling softly, Sakaki lowers her tote bag in her hand to the grassy ground. She settles herself down next to it, retrieves colored pencils from inside, then props her B4 size sketchbook against her knees. And looking straight out at the scenery before her, she begins intently moving her pencils across the paper. Oh. Oh! Look, look at us, we're just watching. The fucking look of just on her face. Hey, look, listen. We'll get you through your problems, Skaki. I've helped 2 of them out already. Fuck, I can help you too. I only learned this after becoming Skaki's guard, but the reason she abruptly leaves campus for hours at a time is a very simple one. She draws pictures. Hold on. Didn't I, say something offhandedly back in the day? Like, when I was doing the common route, that I was like, she probably, goes out and does art shit or something. I totally remember myself saying that. Or maybe I'm crazy and just think I'm almighty God with calling shit lately, but I don't know, man. I just distinctly remember me saying that. Anywho, maybe she didn't want her classmates to know about her hobby. Maybe there's another reason. Either way, I'm just glad she wasn't coming into contact with any strange characters. She could, if we weren't here. In that scenario, there would have been a lot of troublesome preliminary cleanup to take care of. But JB probably would have warned me if the girl was up to anything too risky, so I'd never been that worried about her activities. More like mildly curious.
ちょっと雲が少なくなって感じが変わったわね。
Sakaki's approach to her art is straightforward and orthodox. She begins by roughly sketching out the scene in general, then proceeds to fill in details little by little. Alright. She's not quite the level of a dedicated art student, but judging from what I've seen of her work, the girl has quite a good amount of talent and skill. That said, I don't have much of an eye for art. I can tell she's good on a technical level, but I don't have any other impressions. I think most art is good, you know? Art's subjective and objective and all sorts of adjectives. Like, you can't... I don't know. Unless you're specifically going in with the intent of making art bad, you know? I don't know. It's weird. Even if I did, expressing them would only probably irritate Sakaki further. Nice weather. Hanging back far enough to not get in Sakaki's way, I look up into the sky, like most anime protagonists, feeling the sun beat down on my face. The latter half of July is always pretty hot. It's also my birthday month, especially in this area. Nice, refreshing scenery and all, but it's not the most pleasant season. Drops of sweat, the blazing summer sun, a vibrant picture taking shape. I shake my head to dispel the shadowy wisps of memory floating to the surface of my mind, then return my attention to the subject of my surveillance. Forever. The sun sinks to the horizon as if sliding gently down the slope of the mountain. All of a sudden, the area is bathed in orange sunlight. Hey, there you go. You could draw this even more, or this sort of scene. Perhaps taking that as a signal of sorts, Sakaki gathers up her materials, stretches out her legs for the first time in hours, then slowly gets to her feet. Oh. Kicking lightly at the ground in apparent irritation, she speaks to me.
あなた、そうやってずっと立っているばかりで、私には一切話しかけようとしないのね。
Well, I figured you wouldn't really want to talk to me, so... did you want me to make conversation?
まさか。ただ、いつもはしつこいぐらいに私の行く先を尋ねるくせに、ここに来たら何も聞かないから不思議に思っただけよ。
Yeah, because I just need to watch you. I don't need to talk to you. You came here to draw. Once I'd confirmed that you weren't going anywhere, I didn't have any reason to bother you.
仕事で必要なことだけ聞いたということなのね。
There you go. Exactly. That's right. Talking to your client more than necessary would be an expression of personal interest. When that's not relevant, the bare facts are enough. What's wrong?
なんでもないわ。
Okay. Sakaki turns her back in a somewhat grumpy fashion, befitting of Sakaki Yumiko occupation. Baby artist one day. Hefts her tote bag off the ground and then begins to walk off without so much as a word. I followed her quick, irritated strides at a similarly rapid pace. Alright. Oh shit. My investigation of Sakaki Yumiko's movements and protection of her person continued along those lines. Sakaki fundamentally ignored me. When she did talk, it was mostly hostile questions or arbitrary complaints. The atmosphere was badly strained, to say the least. How are we gonna fix this? Is saving her life gonna help her? Like, understand? But she doesn't want to live, from the sounds of it. That'd make her only mad! Nah, we'll fix her problems. And gradually, the complaints began to grow more frequent and more aggressive, culminating in an incident about 1 week later. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Don't do this game.
こうして毎日毎日あなたにつけ回されるのかと思うと、一瞬も落ち着けないわ。
It's my job. I'm sorry, Yumiko. I'm sorry. Today, Sakaki seemed even more irritable than usual. She was reading in the lobby from early in the morning, and before noon she headed out to sketch at the riverbank. In other words, the two of us have been alone together more or less all day. Seems to have grated on her nerves. Especially for a girl who's like, wants to be alone 99.9% of the time. Okay, 100%. Stopping her drawing in the early evening as always, she gathered up her belongings more rapidly than usual, then stomped up to me and began to vent her spleen. Vent her spleen? Is that a saying? Not to worry, I do have basic manners. I make sure to avert my eyes from any potential shameful actions on your part.
そういうことを言うこと自体がマナー違反だって、なぜわからないのかしら。
I do not. I've been pretending to smooth things over. I mean, pretending. I've been intending to smooth things over, but seemed to have poured oil in this fire instead. This is something I've been vaguely aware of for a while now, but it seems I have a bad habit of enraging women over the strangest little things. All the more pathetic because it's usually the result of well-intentioned words backfiring rather than actual malice on my part.
第一、あなたの言うその脅威って何なのかしら。こうして散々つきまとってよくわかったでしょ。私はすでに実家からも邪魔者扱いされた存在なの。
I mean, someone did comment and say, hey, don't look too bad about her father because, you know, he still does care in his own way, and as I play, I'll probably end up seeing that, but right now it's kind of like just, you know, I don't know. It's just so I feel like he doesn't. I think it's out of love.
今さら誰かが営利目的で近寄ってくることなどありえないわ。
From the start, Skaki had insisted that she didn't want protection, but now she tries out a different objection. To be sure, I haven't picked up on any concrete threats approaching Skaki in the week that I've been watching over her. God, if someone was watching me for... Oh no, I would lose my shit too. It'd be too late to start protecting you after something happens. A bodyguard is a preemptive measure. Not much good in installing a burglary alarm after someone's cleaned out your safe, right?
でも現実に襲ってくる人間なんていないじゃない。
But you know, what if someone does? Then I'll be here to kick some ass!
言っておくけど、あなたにつきまとわれたこの1週間だけじゃなくて、2年近く一人でいたのに、そんなことはこれまで一切なかったんだから。
Well, maybe I got tipped to you were gonna be attacked, and now because I'm here, no one's gonna attack you, so there you go. You don't know. But we know that it's gonna be a stupid little show put on by her dad where she's gonna be attacked, but I'm gonna be there. But today just might be the day that changes. Yeah, it's like you never know.
詭弁を下したって無駄よ。
You never know, Yumiko. Alright, in that case, take a look behind you. Oh no!
だから。
Oh no! Skagi starts another angry retort, but swallows her words as she notices that I've said something rather strange. There's been something wrong with this picture for a little while now.
背後って何があるのよ。
Oh god. Skaki, too, seems to have finally caught the scent of something strange in the air. With timid, uncertain movement, she slowly turns her head to look behind her. Oh no. Look at you! Hold on! This is... Oh, by the way, we're a badass. But, look at the... Oh my god! These are the nastiest looking schmucks I have ever seen. Oh, Jesus! Oh, it's time for us to be a badass! Kasami Yuji, occupation, badass! And student, though. A group of blatantly suspicious-looking men in black suits stare back. They're not even trying to hide what they are, which probably means they're planning to take forcible measures. Only reinforcing this impression, the unmarked van parked next to their car on the road above. Standard vehicle for carrying off a kidnapped victim. These gentlemen don't strike me as the most peace-loving bunch. You stay near me, Skaki. I got you. Also, this is, are we surrounded? In the CG? Because it looks like they're just behind. When Skaki, if that was the case, should be like right in front of me, and I have my arm around her like, no, don't do that shit. Even without the van and the suits, it's clear enough from a glance at the lead group that these people aren't here for a calm negotiation. A brawny man, strikingly wide in the shoulders, towers at the head of the pack. At his side, there's a man with bandages rolled around his fists, probably gripping something hard. A third keeps his arms dangling loosely at his sides in the manner of a martial artist waiting and watching us to make a move. Oh, Jesus. Space Marines help! Even if they come out with a good evening, could you spare a moment to talk? At this point, it'd be hard to take it as anything but a sarcastic provocation.
ねえ、この人たち誰なの？あなたが言っていた通り、私に用があって集まってきたの。
Told you, Yumiko. Today could have been the day. And in fact, it was the day. Tsukagi's tone of voice had grown distinctly uneasy. Faced with an unfamiliar atmosphere of danger, her normal cool-headed indifference has melted away. She unconsciously grabs hold of my shirt, and there's clear fear in her eyes, and you could tell just from... Look at her face! Look at this face! That is concern if I've ever seen one. Well, I don't have much value as a commodity, so I think it's safe to assume they're after you, Sakaki.
だって私は。
You can make excuses if you want, but I don't think they're going to change their objective. So it's okay, we got you. Tsukagi's hand grips my sleeve even more tightly. The men approach slowly, silently, eyes fixed intently on us, looking for the right moment to take action. The three in the front seem like the main threat. They've got 5 others hanging back as support, including their drivers, but that group doesn't seem to have much combat experience. Listen very carefully, Sakaki. Shh! I said listen! Drawing my face close to Sakaki, I push her long hair away from the side of her head. A shapely white ear emerges from its hiding place behind the black curtain. I speak a few quiet, blunt words into it. Stay down, make yourself as small as possible, and keep yourself behind me.
なぜ？
I'm about to beat some ass. Just do it, alright? Unless you're eager to take a ride with these charming people.
あなた、まさかこの人たちと？
I'm planning to beat some ass. Now do what I tell you. Tsukagi's question falters off halfway through, but her meaning's clear enough. I offer a firm, emphatic nod. I can handle 8. Maybe it might be a little frightening, but deal with it.
そんな。あなたが何をしているのか知らないけど、あんな人たちを、しかも大勢相手にするのなんか無理よ。
You underestimate Agent 47. It'll be fine. Just do what I told you.
だってそんな。
Just what I fucking told you. In that instant, as Sakagi tries to continue her objection, oh fuck. The man with the physique of a rugby player who'd been standing at the head of the pack rushes forward, aiming to tackle me to the ground. Oh, that's his first mistake. That's his first mistake. Get down, Sakaki. As soon as Sakaki throws herself face down to the ground, I dodge the enormous man's charge like a toreador evading a bull. Apparently, Rugby Man wasn't expecting such a well-timed sidestep. He makes a strange little grunt as the momentum carries him past me. Nice broad back you've got there. Before he can begin to turn, I sharply drop my right elbow down onto his oversized spine. Ooh! Gotta admit, it makes for a nice big target as well. Rugby Man inhales roughly. I like that's what his name is. Then claps his face first into the dirt. That's 1, for starters. Confirming that my oversized friend isn't getting up anytime soon, I whip around 180 degrees to face the other attackers. I almost read Bondage Hands. You know what? Bondage Hands here has a different style. He's spitting out short pants at regular intervals, bouncing slightly from side to side in time with the rhythm. This one's shorter than me, but his body's abnormally slim and lithe. His physique suggests extraordinary agility. From his stance, with his right arm slightly below and behind his left, it's clear that he's an experienced boxer. If he lands a punch, it's probably going to be a bone fracture or internal bleeding. A slugging match with a boxer is never a good idea, let alone when he's grasping something. In other words, I need to dodge until I have a chance to launch a disabling counterattack to a weak point. Yeah, he's ready. The tempo of Bandage Hands' breathing grows steadily quicker. As he slowly begins to close the distance between us, the slight movements of his body begin to include something of a forward back sway brain. He's coming! The man exhales heavily and springs forward, his half-hidden right hand shooting out toward my face. I duck my head just barely enough to avoid the punch. Now within range, he follows up with a wider swing from the left. That's what I was looking for. Huh! Clearly evading the second half of this predictable combination, I slide forward to point-blank range and land a violent kick to his shin. Got him! As Bandage Hands freezes up from pain, I step back, pivot, and swing my fist into his right flank, throwing my whole body into the punch. God, we're so fucking badass. Spittled in a strangled little grunt spray from the boxer's mouth. His eyes roll back in his head and he collapses heavily to the ground. Should probably stay down for a while after taking a direct hit to the liver. Before the others can react, I've resettled myself at Sakaki's side. 2 down. I look over at the final remaining member of the attacking team. Although there's a hint of shock in his expression after seeing the others go down so quickly, his composed posture suggests a fundamental confidence. He clearly thinks of himself on a different level from those two. He might be. His peculiar stance, involving constant movement of his limbs, reminds me strongly of a Chinese Kempo my master taught me back in the day. This one's aiming at the counter himself. I can picture him smoothly sidestepping the instant I try to lunge forward. The loose swaying of his body might not look particularly intimidating to an amateur's eye, but I'm confident he's more dangerous than the others. Well, let's try a trap. Got him! Imitating Rugby Man, I spring forward like a sprinter, charging directly at the martial artist. He's like ready. He instantly slips away from my attack with a triumphant little laugh. From the side, he fires off a sharp kick aimed at my pivoted leg. Huh! Took the bait! I swivel to grab his extended leg, then twist it roughly in my arms, bringing him to the ground in a leg lock. Got him! Specifically, it's a heel hook of the sort frequently seen in your nastier mixed martial arts competitions. I twist his foot back with my arms, causing agonizing pain that wouldn't normally inspire a quick tap out. Oof. Of course, this isn't a match, so that's not an option for me. The man desperately uses his free leg and arms to attack me. But with his heel completely immobilized, it's impossible to gain the leverage necessary for an effective blow. Sorry, but I need you to settle down for a while. Bringing the strength of my arms to bear, I bend the man's heel sharply to the side. Ooh! The joints of his ankle crack loudly, and his foot turns in the direction nature never intended to. Ooh, God! The man lets out a strangled little scream, and I can feel the fight go out of him. When I release the hold, he instantly clutches his ankle and rolls around on the ground, tears streaming down his face. Got him! That's everyone. Rising quickly to my feet, I place my body protectively in front of Sakaki's. The only men left standing nearby are 2 members of the support team. I glower at them expectantly. Then fuck that! But the remaining men keep their distance, watching warily and hissing to each other in flushed voices. Fluttered voices. What they signed up for? Maybe the kidnappers hashed out internal contracts or something of the sort? Nothing I need to be concerned about at the moment, I suppose. We're going to run away now, Sakaki. Let's get the fuck out of here. Dude. I pull Sakaki by the hand and run up the sloping bank toward the street above. Oh boy. Sakaki quickly runs out of breath, but pushes herself desperately forward, barely managing to keep up. I'm gonna have to bridle carry you in a second. After reaching the road, I shoot one quick glance over my shoulder at the group of men we left behind. The remaining members are helping the battered fighters back to their vehicles rather than pursuing us. Concluding that they're backing off for now, I set off at a rapid jog toward the door, towing Sakaki along behind me. Ooh, boy! What the shit, Blizzard? Although the men didn't seem to be chasing us, just to be on the safe side, I took a number of brief detours on the way back to the campus. The sun had just been setting as we left, so by the time we finally reached the gate, it's already dark out. Bursting into the dorm in this state would just alarm everyone, and I don't think Sakaki's looking for more of a fuss right now. Instead of running straight into the lobby, I lead her to the courtyard. You alright, Sakaki? Finally releasing her hand, I ease Sakaki down onto a bench to rest. See? So I got you out. Oh, today was the day. The girl makes an admirable effort to keep being up a tough front, but after all that running, she's understandably fatigued.
あなた何かしていたの？
I beat some ass. Something? That's pretty vague. You referring to my scuffle with those gentlemen? Sakaki silently nods her head. Well, I've been trained on how to deal with people proficient in various skills. It's kind of relevant in my line of work. It's like, what is your job? That's what everyone just fucking freaks out about. In my profession, you naturally meet people with a wide range of experience in this regard. Former Dan rank Kanpo practitioners, karate experts who made it to nationals. Sometimes you'll even run into guys who competed in the world championships of something or another. Naturally, the same goes for our organization's competitors and professional rivals. So the instructors teach you a wide variety of coping strategies, covering more or less the full range of martial arts. And by taught, I mean they beat the techniques into you. I myself suffered more than a few lessons that nearly ended in bone fractures.
そう大変な仕事なのね。
It is. She mutters the words without a hint of ridicule, in a tone of complete conviction. This is a world Sakaki knew nothing of until now. It's simply outside of her range of experience. Oh, look at these eyes. Oh, we're gonna see a lot of facial expressions that we've never seen from Sakaki before. Even if she understood in an academic sense that people like that existed, personally coming into contact with them has clearly driven home just how real and unpleasant that world is. So there's your wake-up call. You understand now just how much danger you're in?
そうね。
Don't give me that face. Sakagi nods with uncharacteristic honesty.
でもやっぱり私に護衛なんか必要ないわ。
Okay, you need to cut the crap, alright? Why not?
だから最初に言ったでしょ。私は別にどうなったって構わない。だからあなたに守ってもらう必要もないんだから。
But I care. Everyone in the dorm cares. Like, her expression changes, the fear fading, leaving something gloomy and bitter in its place. Just like the other day, I can see a hint of defeat in her eyes.
護衛はもういいわ。明日から来ないでちょうだい。
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Sakagi brushes off a few clumps of earth from her skirt, then opens her bag and carefully returns the colored pencils scattered loosely inside to their box. When that task's accomplished, she takes the bag in her hand and rises abruptly to her feet.
部屋に帰るわ。
Alright, but I get it. You never wanted my protection. You don't care what happens, but can I get a thank you? Okay, not getting a thank you for that. And with this brief announcement, she strides quickly off in the direction of the dorm. But oh, Sakaki stops dead about 4 paces away. After a moment's hesitation, she turns toward me and comes back. Oh, her body's facing me, but her eyes won't quite meet mine. What is it? All of a sudden, she lowers her head in a slight bow.
今日はその助けてくれてありがとう。
Oh, she did. She did say thank you.
必要ないと言ってもあなたが助けてくれたことには変わりはないもの。
It's so genuinely unexpected that all I can do is watch. I can't think of anything to say in return.
それじゃ
Goodbye. Once again, Sakaki turns on her heel, and this time she doesn't stop. Her feet crunch across the gravel at a steady, controlled pace as she makes her way across the courtyard. By appearance, at least, she's already back to the Sakaki Yumiko I know. I watch her as she goes, thinking back over the events of the day. I have to say, though, that was strange. The people who came after us today were without a doubt a standard crew of moderately skilled hooligans. But there's one thing that's been bothering me. They came at me one by one, taking turns, like something out of a manga. That makes exactly 0 sense. Because we're not involved on the plan. All 3 of their tough guys should have been rushing me at once. Hell, even the 5 they had hanging back for support. The sheer numbers would have made it difficult even for me. Especially with Sakaki to protect. Divide and conquer is the basic rule of fighting when outnumbered. and they went out of their way to divide themselves for me. No matter how I looked at this, it doesn't add up. It might just be a coincidence, but there's a possibility it means something. Better to figure it out now rather than run into some nasty surprise later down the line. Guess JB would be the person to ask. Think JB's gonna tell us? Visions of a shaggy-headed, know-it-all blonde floating unpleasantly before my eyes. I slowly follow Sakagi's path toward the dorm. Ooh, so much action happened. Dear God, we had black screen flickering. We had Sakagi just dipping on us. We had a fight scene. What the shit? Oh my God, this was amazing. All right.